Is Clint forcing a bingo square? I think that's what's happening.
You guys allow that kind of thing?
We do.
Sometimes.
We let Clint do whatever he wants.
Yeah. He's got bad hemorrhoids from all the forcing. Just keep the preparation H on hand, Clint.
Preparation F.
I can't hear Preparation H without thinking about Austin Powers.
Exactly.
Preparations A through G were a total failure.
It'll be a part of the Alan Parsons project. Damn it, you asked me 3 times. I have to answer.
Welcome, everybody, to episode 28 of the Four Dorksmen podcast. I am Nate, a.k.a. Angry Nate.
This is Joey, a.k.a. Tree Namath.
I'm Collector Clint.
This is Ryan, Asian Tony Stark.
And we are joined this week by a very special guest who I'll let introduce himself.
I heard that guy wasn't available, so I'll step in. This is Sully from the Funko Funcast.
Yeah, thank you for filling in on such last-minute notice there for the other special guests that couldn't make it. We appreciate that.
I'm going to unfollow him on Twitter now.
Well, Nate Fillion is going to be really upset.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to get booted at some point, am I? Okay, I see how this goes.
We have him on speed dial, so we'll give him a call.
You just hear me fade off in the distance. I'm pulled away.
But yes, we have Sully here with us today. For all of you that do know who Sully is, he works at Funko. He's on the marketing team there, and you've probably heard him on the Funko Funcast. You've seen him at cons. You've seen him on YouTube, Mixer, probably everywhere. If you're not aware of who he is, make sure you figure out who he is. He's a good person to know.
I've seen him on Tinder a few times.
Whoa.
I was about to say, Nate basically alluded that I get around, and now you got me on Tinder. Let me go tell my wife what's really going on, and then let's get back to this, because you guys are going to get me in trouble.
We had to do that last episode, was it? Where we did the Dolly Parton challenge, and they just would not let it go because they put me as the Tinder icon because I had a crown on my Funko head. So, that's how it goes.
A crown on my Funko head.
Anyway, some quick housekeeping. Make sure you're following us on Twitter and Instagram at @the_Dorksman. You can always feel free to email us at dorksman@gmail.com. I promise you I will get around to emailing you people back at some point. You people.
What do you
You're gonna
mean,
fit in
you
just
people?
right here.
You friends of the podcast that have emailed us. I will make sure to email you guys back.
Yes, both of you.
Oh, no, 3.
Three.
There's 3.
now.
Don't forget about
Excellent.
Vin. Vin's the most recent.
We're blowing up.
We're huge. That's right. We're huge.
Is that a joke towards yourself?
Keep going. Hurry.
Poor Nate.
Hurry, move on.
Anyways,
Quickly.
So for all of you, thank you for everyone that has been participating in the 4D giveaway holiday contest. We do have our winners selected. We will announce that a little bit later today on this episode, so make sure to keep listening, and we'll make sure that announcement goes up before we finish recording today. And make sure you're playing along at our bingo cards, dorksmanbingo.com. Shout out to Andrew New Beardland on Twitter for building that for us, and Larry Nerd and Cheese from the STS guys for helping us with the redirect at dorksmanbingo.com. So nice and easy to remember. Play it, enjoy it, share it. We love seeing your bingo cards. So we will quickly jump into our Q&A section, Ask the Dorksman. So we'll do a serious one first. This is actually one from Vin, Fugly16 on Twitter.
Shout out to Vin Lee.
He actually emailed this question as well as on Twitter. So see, we are responding to your email live on the podcast.
Tell him, Nate.
So Vin would like to know what headphones and mics do you guys use, and what kind of other equipment do you guys use for recording and whatnot. So yeah, feel free to jump in and answer.
I usually go first, so I'll go first.
I was going to say, as the most technical person here, since I'm the one recording everything, I'll go last.
I don't know, man. You got some competition with our guest, I think, who's been doing this a little while.
Fight.
Are you taking a page out of Ashley's book? Fight.
She does it more than you know.
Yeah. Sure.
So much editing.
But anyway, Joey, please go on.
Yeah, I don't have anything fancy. I like to say that I have what is the least expensive but most well-reviewed on Amazon. That's what I went with when I started. So like the headphones are just Aventry set of Bluetooth headphones, and the mics just standard Fifine or Fifine. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce the brand name.
It's
Microphone.
Fifine.
It is Fifine.
Where's the giant?
He's right there.
I'm here.
He's
I'm
just
here.
right there.
I'm here.
He was
I'm
just
here.
right
I'm
there.
There's
here.
Joey. I see him now.
Don't worry, Clint. I didn't leave you. No FOMO. No tree FOMO. I'm here.
Tree FOMO.
And that's me.
It sounds like a global warming problem. Please continue.
No, that's it. I don't know what else you use besides a microphone and a set of headphones. I mean, I guess I could tell you I'm on a Chromebook, but that's about it.
Well, is your webcam, since we do this with webcams, do you use an internal or an external one?
No, it's the one built into the Samsung Chromebook, unofficial sponsor of the Four Dorksmen podcast.
Cool.
Well said.
I'd go next, but I use the exact same equipment Agent Tony Stark does, so I'll let him answer that question.
Okay, Nate, we'll just fast forward to you then.
I have a snowball mic, and I have Razer Kraken headphones. I just use them for gaming on my PC, and I just use them over here, and they sound great, and they look great, and they got these little lights on the side that they're
Very
flashing
fancy.
and stuff. So
Fancy.
blinging on my ear.
Is there a microphone with those headphones?
There is. It's just tucked away instead of
Okay.
bumping it into my.
Have you ever tried using that?
microphone. I have not, and I don't want to look like a telemarketer when we're recording. So that's probably why.
It's
So I'd
not
rather
a
have
good
this
look on
giant-
anyone.
Right? Yeah.
Good point. It's a great point. Fair enough.
And I use the camera built into my laptop. I bought a laptop a while back and spent way too much money on this thing, and I love it. But it works. Does the job.
Treat yourself.
Treat yourself.
Exactly. How about you, Sully? What do you use?
I've been doing podcasts since 2011 now, and we've run the gamut and done all kinds of different things. I'm actually on one of our OG snowballs for Nerd Foo that we used for years, and then Steve updated to a Yeti from Blue, which really good sound quality. We really like that. But when I went to Funko, we wanted to make sure it was really good high quality, so we actually went with a full-on mixing board and Shure mics that we eventually upgraded, because the mixing board actually turned out to be more of a pain than our Zoom H6 for all the recordings. And that thing is the most amazing piece of hardware I've ever owned. It's great for portability, so we can take it anywhere. We can record lives, we record in the studio with it. But when it comes to headphones, I go really low tech. I've got a pair of earbuds that I got on Amazon during like Black Friday for like $9. And this is the second pair I've gotten at them, because the first one I used for like 5 years and they fell apart. I've never used full-on studio headphones. I can't do the cans on the ears.
Mm-hmm.
It over time it starts to it's like I'm claustrophobic in those things. So I love the earbuds, gives me a little freedom, and sometimes I'll switch ears in the middle just to kind of break things up for me.
Good answer.
Right, Ryan?
Well,
Let's
for
hear
me, okay, so I mean, obviously, you guys know I come from a radio background previously. I'm going to agree with Sully. I don't like the can headphones, because if you guys remember when we first started recording, I used to wear my big old DJ headphones. But the tops of my ears, the cartilage just starts to ache after about, having them on for half an hour. So I made the conscious decision to move over to the earbuds. And these are the ones that came with my iPhone. So, win-win, no cost there. As far as microphone goes, Vin, I have a Blue Yeti, same as what Clint has. I believe he's also using his iPhone headphones.
Correct.
Yep. As far as recording software, not definitely run-of-the-mill for podcasters here, but coming from my previous background, I am using Ableton Live.
Cool. Yeah, one note I want to throw out here, guys, is Vin, first of all, thank you for the question. And if you're looking to do your own podcast, please let us know. We would love to listen and talk you up. But there's actually a couple other really good podcasts that talk about this kind of stuff. Of course, there's the Secondary Heroes and their panel from 2019 at San Diego Comic-Con I would check out. There's also one with our friends at Three Beers and a Mic, the Nerd Foo, and Analog Assault called Ready Set Podcast. You can find that with the Nerd Foo. That was really entertaining hearing how 3 different podcasts came to be and the equipment they used, and you'll be surprised on some of the beginnings for them. You really will. So make sure to check those out.
Oh, thanks for that shout out.
Of course.
I do want to add here, Vin, as far as how I'm routing the audio back in from the other guys here, it's kind of a little tricky process that I had to build on my MacBook Air. So if you have further questions, let me know. We can talk about it offline.
Please. And again, if you're doing it, we want to hear.
Yep.
So let us all know.
Let us know.
We're in this together.
I'd actually like to add to that something that we started doing, Steve and I, whenever I moved away, because we used to podcast in person with one another, was we never could get that setup going like y'all are using to pull the audio in. I just never felt comfortable with it.
Sure.
So we actually each record on our own end and then just merge the files together. and it provides some really nice leeway, some elbow room when you go into your editing, because there's no overlap in the audio from each of your members at all. So you can really chop up a conversation and mix it up and do some fun stuff with it if you do it that way. And and the sound quality is just always pristine.
Yep.
Especially if you're using something like the Zoom H6.
And if you're doing some individual recording, because I do this with Geek Together, I mean, Audacity is free. Use it as much as you want. It works great.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a thing too, like a lot of people, you can see there's a huge range of equipment that we use, and there's, if you're trying to break into podcasting and whatnot, don't think you need like the best equipment, or you don't need like all this expensive stuff. Just grab what you're comfortable using, start recording, and get good at it, and go from there. There's no entry level. You got to spend $1,000 on equipment to podcast or anything like that. So definitely think about that if you're interested in doing that. So
there's actually a lot of good videos on YouTube where the guys compare $100 mic to $1,000 mic for like Blue, for example. They have really range, really good mics. At a certain point, you can't hear the difference. So just food for thought, guys, if you're looking to go down that avenue.
Good. They're not creating studio albums.
Right. Oh, yeah, no, none of that.
It's like was it HDMI cables, where you can get a cheap one on Amazon for like $10, or you could buy a gold-plated Super 3000 HDMI cable for $100, and it's like they're digital. They do the exact same thing.
If you have a high-end equipment that can utilize the good cables that are $100, then yes. But for the most part, most of us, we don't see the difference.
Right.
I'm pretty sure Best Buy is only still open around the country because 50-year-old plus people still buy cables from them. Like
Monster brand.
Yeah, Monster. They built a stadium with their cable sales, which is insane to me.
That is nuts.
Anyways,
here's a $60 HDMI cable. It's better than all the others.
It goes to 1080p.
Ooh,
wow!
Get that extra one out of it.
Right.
Careful, Nate. Careful with the math there.
Yeah, I can only count so high.
Anyway, Ben, great question. I hope we answered it, and keep us posted.
All right. So our next question comes from at Mr_Weasley89 on Twitter. This is a fun one. If you could replace one item in your favorite movie or show with a pineapple, what would it be?
Thank you for laughing, Sully.
Just the visual.
Right.
Well, there's so many good ones too. I mean, this kind of relates to that Muppet question that we've answered, and that the Funcast and others have answered, and it's a tough one. If anybody has one, go ahead.
Yeah, if you got something in mind, Joey.
Yeah, so I've been thinking about it, and I was like, oh, with my favorite movie, trying to replace, a pineapple into certain stuff, and I just couldn't think of anything good for some of my favorite movies. But what I did think of, I'm sure most of you have seen Pulp Fiction.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just thinking about that scene that's left up to the viewer where they open the briefcase and it's just all gold and shiny, and instead there's a little small cutaway scene and it's just a pineapple inside the briefcase, and that's what all the hubbub's about.
That's awesome.
That's good. I like that.
Go ahead, Clint. No, I was gonna say, I thought about replacing a person just like the Muppets, and you said favorite movie. My favorite movie is probably Wayne's World, so I think I'd replace Cassandra with a pineapple. I think it'd be hilarious to see the band playing and this pineapple just sitting there.
Pineapple playing the bass.
Yeah, or this pineapple on the phone when Wayne's trying to impress her, and it's just sitting there not doing anything. I think that'd be pretty funny. So
dancing for a pineapple. Yeah. Interesting.
By the way, while you guys think, I'm trying to remember all our Muppet-related questions. I know my answer was The Hangover, with Carlos being the only real, or being the Muppet.
Not at the table, Carlos.
That's right. I'm drawing blanks on some of the other ones you guys had. They were all great, though.
I had the Matrix, and I said something different on one of the other episodes, because I answered it twice.
That was my answer, too.
Yeah.
It's a good answer. I think we had two different characters, though. Who did you say?
I went Neo.
I went Agent Smith.
I was gonna say that you were Smith. Yeah.
Yeah, for that the battle where he fights 100 Agent Smith.
Yes, it's 100 Muppets.
100 Muppets.
Some tired hands.
One Muppet Neo fighting a bunch of real Agent Smiths.
And the scene where Neo flies into him, so he'd be flying into a Muppet instead.
I swear to you, I have my answer to the question that we just got posed, and I swear to you, I came up with it before you said what you just said, but my answer is the Matrix. And instead of the cool Nokia phone that he busts out every time, I want that to be a pineapple.
Pineapple
He busts it out
Nice.
and then goes, I need a dial. I need a hard line.
I know Kung Fu.
It's like a pineapple. pineapple phone from like Radio Shack back in the 80s or something.
Yes, like a football phone from Sports Illustrated, but a pineapple phone.
I'm watching I'm watching Fresh Off the Boat right now, and that's what the oldest son Eddie has is a football phone.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That show is so underrated. It's so
It is.
I totally agree. It's probably still on Friday nights, which is like death for a show. But
I'm watching it on Hulu, and it was hilarious today.
It is good.
His mom ate his Lucky Charms, and she said something about his his Irish elf cereal.
Oh my.
His mom is wonderful in that show. Anyway, who else got to answer that question?
I wouldn't say this is my favorite movie, but I would replace Mjolnir. And for those that are not aware, that's Thor's hammer. I would replace Thor's hammer, Mjolnir, with a pineapple.
Yes.
So you can just imagine him holding it up to the sky and summoning lightning with it.
From the pineapple.
From the pineapple.
When he summons it back and it hits his hand, it just turn into like a puree or
It turns into a
Touche.
smoothie.
soft serve ice cream.
There you go.
That scene in Endgame would be
Don't whip.
hilarious. While he's waiting in front of his mom, waiting for it to show back up, and all of a sudden a
Yeah, he's
pineapple
just
flies
like-
into his hand.
Waiting there with Rocket.
Yeah. Pineapple appears.
Summon the pineapple. I like
For me, it would be. I was thinking about this, and I think there's two parts where I would probably replace it in John Wick. So the first part would be instead of a gun, he just use a pineapple and just be killing dudes with this pineapple. Or spoiler alert for the first John Wick movie, the part of the reason why he goes crazy and kills everybody is because they kill his puppy. So instead of the puppy, they smash his pineapple, and he gets super mad and goes on a massive killing spree because you smashed his pineapple. So
I would definitely watch that.
yeah, I would too.
John, Mr. Weasley, that was a fantastic question. Thank you, sir.
Very
That
good
was a
question.
great question.
Now I want to see y'all make commercials for your podcast
With the
doing these things, like reenacting these moments.
I want to see Joey jump headfirst into a pineapple.
What would be really great is in the Mjolnir one from Agent Tony Stark, like somebody off scene could just be hurling pineapples at him full speed, and he's got to hold his hand out and try to catch it. You're gonna get injured, bud, but it's gonna be really
It's gonna
good.
be worth it.
Gold, comedy gold.
Think of those YouTube hits that we're gonna get on this. This is huge. This is
How many
Sacrifice for the
pineapples
team.
up will you get?
good. Yeah.
Way to go, Ryan.
Sacrifice.
You have access to pineapples there, right?
Yes. I definitely have access to pineapples here.
On his little island in the Pacific.
Thank you for
make
that,
The middle
Joey.
of the Pacific, Joey. Be specific.
Yeah.
See,
it's a
that's how
little
you
island.
don't. That's how you don't force a bingo square, Clint, and you don't end up with hemorrhoids. That right there. You got to wait for the proper opening.
You mean just don't yell punch out?
So
You mean the one I just did? Thank you. The one I just to emphasize. I appreciate that.
That eventually is going to become a square too. Bingo hemorrhoids or something along those lines.
you really hate to see it. It always has to be the center square.
Yeah, we should just take away the free space and make it
Right, it
bingo
just be-
hemorrhoids or something.
Same thing, right?
It's
you go.
perfect being right dead center anyway.
I mean, it happens every
So, Andrew, if you're
episode,
listening.
so.
On that same line, we always like to hear from people on Twitter and Instagram and on email, which we responded to your email. So
Tell 'em,
make
mate.
sure you're constantly telling us, letting us know if you guys want to see more bingo squares, answer the questions that we've answered ourselves. We'd love to hear what kind of equipment you guys
Please.
use and what other pineapple related things you want to talk about. We're always happy to chat with you guys and interact with you guys on Twitter. So the main reason we're here today is to talk about some little football game happening tomorrow. Unfortunately, the Texans, which we all support on this podcast,
We
did
do.
not make to the Super Bowl.
But you get some JJ Watt tonight.
You do?
Yeah, baby, SNL.
Yep.
Yeah. So, in
It's not a
preparation
total.
of the Super Bowl tomorrow, we're gathered here today to talk about all things Super Bowl. So
Before we go on, I want to make sure
Yeah.
people listening, yes, we have Sully and we're thrilled to have him, but we want you to know that Sully is more than Funko. Okay, like
Amen.
Exactly.
like he does a lot of Funko, and I'm sure he gets sick of well, let me rephrase that. I'm sure he talks about it a lot and would like to change topics once in a while.
right.
So,
I
you know,
appreciate that.
well, yeah, you're our friend, and we want to talk to you like a friend, not hey, we want to give us the hookup. That's not what we're here for. So if
Yeah.
anybody's listening to this for the Funko, I want to make sure to preface we're not talking Funko. It might come up, but that's not the point of this discussion. Period.
Thank you. Glenn. That's
Yes.
perfect.
Well
I can
said.
dig it.
I said, just kidding. So let's talk about fun. No, but so Super Bowl parties tomorrow. I'm sure if you guys been to Super Bowl parties in the past, big thing is food. Besides the game, it's food.
So before we interrupt you again, sorry. People are going to be listening to this the day after, so I hope you have some stories to share once you guys listen to this and want to comment on it. I know I will be, so please interact.
So what do you guys like to eat during the Super Bowl?
Everything.
Whatever is in front of me, pretty much.
If there was ever a cheat day, this is it.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Yes. I mean, you got to have wings.
Amen.
But what kind of wings, Sully?
What kind of wings?
Bone-in, drums, flats, boneless.
I like pretty much all wings. I do prefer the bone-in most of the time.
Yes.
But and I got an air fryer, which, by the way, if you guys have not tried an air fryer yet, they make the best wings. So you can save yourself a whole bunch of money. They're fabulous. But I do like boneless wings too. And BW3 has that buy one get one on Thursdays, so you can save a bunch of money getting boneless wings that way.
I love that plug.
Yeah. I wish they'd give me like a sponsorship of some kind. I'd be on there every day.
I think everyone here agrees with you. Wings are amazing. And you know what's funny is it could be anything. I mean, somebody put some fried chicken wings and no like buffalo sauce, anything. I'll eat them. You know, my favorite actually, a friend of mine, I was out visiting him in Michigan at the time, and he made buffalo wings, but he made them with the giant drumsticks. And like I was in heaven. Like we sat there, watched football, and didn't move the whole day. So.
Like you're at the Renaissance Fair, giant, like a turkey leg.
Just up the ante and do like a turkey leg.
They were chicken. Unfortunately, they weren't turkey, but they were chicken, and they were still massive. I think there was a mutant turkey or chicken roaming around. They were huge.
Cooking those is tricky because the meat closest to the bone. I'm wording this very carefully. Closest to the bone never cooks all the way. I like the smaller drumettes, so it gets crispy and the chicken's cooked all the way. It's so good.
Absolutely agree.
Let's just talk about wings the whole rest of this podcast.
We could do that.
A lot of nuances.
Dry rub,
like boneless
whatever.
I think
There's a stop fries.
There's a place in Houston called Pluckers, Houston and Austin, and they've got a Dr. Pepper dry wing.
Oh, wow. I've heard someone mention that before. Maybe you.
Really tasty. I can't describe the taste. It is unique, but it is really tasty.
Sounds tasty.
Does it taste like Dr. Pepper? Or is it just kind of like, okay, so it's just used in the coating?
I don't know why they call it Dr. Pepper. They call it anything, but maybe they do use it in the recipe. There's like one eye drop of Dr. Pepper in there just so they can call it the sweet one.
Maybe Dr. Pepper's the dude that makes them. I don't know.
He comes sliding out of a little door, a little sweet, making the wings.
It's sweet.
It's wing time.
Well, Clinton, you do kind of look like Lil Sweet a little bit.
Thank you. It's what I've been going for this whole time.
Obviously.
That way you're growing your hair out just so
you just need your bandana.
I need to dye my hair purple, but otherwise it's exactly the point.
I think you got to curl your hair a little bit too.
Probably, yeah.
That's crazy that he uses a full-size mic stand for podcasting. Why do you stand the whole time?
That's right. That's why my bandana is. It's on the mic stand. I'm like Steven Tyler over here.
I was about to say.
Yes, but wings are definitely good. I mean, what else do you guys like? Let's talk half to halves first.
I'm having my favorite tomorrow. I had to have my wife put it on the grocery shopping list. I'm having Rotel with ground meat with Doritos for dipping, not Tostitos, Doritos for dipping in it. And
what kind of Doritos?
The only ones that you should eat with it, nacho cheese.
Making sure. Okay.
Yeah. No, not dipping ranch in it. And so like I literally got her to get enough to where I can eat it for lunch and for dinner tomorrow night. So pre-Super Bowl meal and post-Super Bowl meal.
So can you elaborate what that, I mean, I understood all the ingredients except for the first word you said. I think someone might not know what that is.
So Rotel dip is pretty simple. So it's where you get like a thing of Velveeta cheese, and they've got several different flavors you can get. We like getting the queso blanco and mixing it with the original. And then you just put several cans of Rotel, which is basically just diced up tomatoes with some other stuff in it. And then she grounds some meat, throws that in a crock pot, and then you just have heaven in a pot.
Sounds wonderful.
It is so wonderful.
You want to really mix it up. If you like queso, I did a recipe for New Year's Eve where you take white American cheddar, put it in a little crock pot with green chilies and a little bit of the Rotel, the tomatoes. White queso. It is so good.
I'm going to have to jot that one down.
Yeah, just look up a recipe for white queso. You can find it anywhere, and it's really good.
Buy a new crock pot.
I did the day I got the stuff. I found a little mini crock pot for $9 at Fred Meyer up here.
Oh, that's cool.
I was like, even if this whole thing goes awry and it like melts to the bottom, it was $9. Like,
serious question: was it called a croquette?
No, it's called
I'm
Tubs.
Oh, okay. The little crock pot official name is Croquette. And
Is it really?
It really is.
It sounds like you were kind of drawing that out, Clint.
It's so weird that you would know that.
Yeah,
I
wonder
have
why.
a couple myself. I'm not gonna lie. So,
Proud moment for Clint.
what about like I mean, okay. Joey said Doritos. What about certain kinds of chips you have to have, or do you want chips there?
I'm
Chips
not
are a
partial to
must.
chips. I mean, like I was waiting to go around here, but
We're
with
just talking.
Yeah, there's obviously regional stuff that you'll only be able to find here. Well, I mean, we could have got it at Fun Days, like Spam Musubi, which is, by the way, Joey's favorite. I know that he loves it.
Joey loves it.
Spam all day. But that's one of the staples that we have here in Hawaii. Any party that you go to, you have to have Spam Musubi. There's I've spoken about it on the podcast before. Our local 24-hour restaurant, Zippy's, gotta have Zippy's chili. So those are two of the main staples that we typically see, and that and like a sushi platter.
I have always wondered this, and maybe you know, because I visited Hawaii a couple of times, and you're right, Spam is everywhere. It's a part of the culture, just like rice. There's rice on all the value meals at the different places.
Yep.
Why Spam?
I don't know. That's a good question. We actually coined the term Hawaiian steak. That's another way that we refer to it here. I wish I had a good answer for you, Sully, but I do not.
My only guess was it had something to do with military presence
Oh,
Possibly.
and stockpiling food,
yeah.
because they knew it would
So-
keep for a long time, but I never looked it up to find out. So I've always just kind of left that as a theory.
I'm pretty
So-
sure you're hitting the nail on the head a lot. My dad probably would know a lot better than I do. I'm a fourth generation American. My parents were born here. I don't speak Japanese at all. So I am not super qualified to answer that, but I do think that you are on the right track.
So Google
Makes
is
sense.
qualified to answer that.
So
and
in
according to-
essence, yes.
Google it.
yeah. So according to Google and according to
you're
the
down
Spam
it. Wow.
website, Hawaii's love affair with Spam began in World War II. When the salty luncheon meat was given to soldiers due to its very long shelf life and lack of refrigeration needs. Spam is canned and has a shelf life of approximately 1 trillion years.
What?
Good lord. Good
wanna know why it's-
lord,
Wow.
man.
No, wait, I want to know what the approximate is. Like, is the plus or minus 2 billion years? What's the
No
difference?
one
here?
will ever know.
Right?
It's a 1,000 Jeremy Baramies right there.
Well, anyway,
Those of you that
Sully, it's
listen
not
to
just
The
a
Good
hat
Place.
rack. Well done.
I can't believe that was right. I mean,
Right
I thought
on.
I might be in the ballpark, but geez.
One more
like,
interesting fact about Spam, though, is for us locally here, it's already salty enough, but we have to cook it with what we call it shoyu, or everybody else calls it soy sauce. A mixture of soy sauce and sugar, 50-50 ratio. It's our own little quote-unquote teriyaki sauce, but it's salty, make it more salty.
That sounds like an ice cream flavor.
Yeah, could be. Spam ice cream. That's a new
I was
concept.
talking about the soy sauce.
The soy
Oh,
sauce.
yeah.
Oh, there you go again, forcing it.
No, you just didn't catch it.
It works.
Anyway,
You
You
know,
are
what
right
else?
in saying that.
what are those little look, speaking of crock pots, those little weenies? What are those called?
Little
Smokies.
weenies.
Little weenies.
Are they like little
Why do I
smokies?
feel like there's a
That's what I'm looking for.
punchline?
Do you guys think little smokies are required for a Super Bowl party? Because I feel like everyone I've ever been to has had them.
Not here.
With the barbecue sauce, you mean?
That too, but it's more just a little. I don't even know if they're sausages or
Just
hot
like
dogs, whatever.
in general, like finger foods, right? Like just
Right.
little
Oh yeah,
pieces,
totally.
Yeah.
Pizza.
The meatballs
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
not a
Okay.
veggie tray. If you bring a veggie tray to a Super Bowl party, just go home. Like walk in the door, see all the rest of the stuff, see what you're missing out on, and then walk your veggie tray home and
Actually-
go eat your carrots and celery and ranch like a loser in front of the Super Bowl.
I will argue that for two reasons. One is kids. You want them to eat as well as they can.
Nope.
Two, whatever. That's why McGuire is stuck at 97%. And
Oh, ouch.
He's still taller than you,
Still
though.
loading.
by a landfall. Yes, I agree. That's why I'm still here. Anyway, and two is clears the palate. If you really want to enjoy some of your smoked food and the saltiness, you might need to clean it out a little bit. You know.
Yeah, dip a carrot and some ranch, and that'll cleanse your palate right up. Pro
Right.
tip from Collector Clint.
You know what cleanses your palate too? It's just some ice cream. Ice cream is good too.
Yeah.
That's
Ice cream's
true.
Good too.
So how about that? How about sugar? Because all we talked about is like salty, savory food. What about sugar?
I don't think sugar when I think Super Bowl party.
Right,
Yeah,
I
same.
agree. I mean, I'm not like, ooh, I really want a piece of chocolate right now. That doesn't. No, it's the stuff
No.
we talked about. But that's why I'm asking.
Now, you do dessert later when you get home and you just need a snack before you go to bed.
Right.
Yeah.
I like where I had
Some
that.
games are, like,
M&Ms.
It's kind of an awkward time for us in the West Coast, where it's like the game starts at 3:30, so it's a little bit after lunchtime. It's a little bit too early for dinner, but I'm eating from like 3 o'clock to like the game's over.
Yep.
And then a couple hours later, I'm gonna want something small, so I'll go get ice cream or something.
Well, look at
That
us.
sounds like my
we're
day.
2 hours behind you guys, right? So the game starts
Right.
at about 1:30 for me.
That's
That
perfect.
timing. That time. How about you,
That's-
Joey? How's
that's
the
better
timing
timing.
work for you? I mean, that's gotta be.
It's perfect. It's like 5:30 here when it starts.
Right.
But it ends. Yeah, it ends late. I know that's why everybody on the East Coast takes it off on Monday. So
I used to work for a printing company out of college that did random drug testing, and they would always random drug test on the Monday after Super Bowl.
random.
So people would all call in sick the Monday after the Super Bowl.
Well, makes sense, right?
Well, there was some talk a couple of years ago about moving the President's Day holiday to the Monday after the Super Bowl because it's not on either Lincoln or
Right.
Washington's birthday usually. So they said, look, it's just a random date in February. Just go ahead and move it to the Monday after the Super Bowl. We'll still call it President's Day, but everybody will have off. Not everybody, but a lot of people will have off work.
That's smart.
I think that's smart because you're right. Because it used to be we used to have Lincoln's birthday and Washington's birthday, then they combined them, and now you're right. It's on random. It's always on a Monday, so it's a random day.
Sorry,
Alright.
Nate. You're
I
not
know,
involved in
that's-
this conversation. I'm sorry.
Us Canadians don't get any bonus day after Super Bowl.
But
Don't
you
you
get
just
one
wanna-
holiday off a month guaranteed.
Right.
Even
That's
that
true.
family day thing that they
Oh yeah,
came up
Family
with.
Day. That's the one.
We
I was
made
thinking
up a
Fun Day,
holiday.
but same thing.
Yeah, they made up a holiday
just
just so they could have one more holiday.
I'm still waiting for Love Day to happen.
Sounds like they're doing it right.
Right. I totally agree. What is something that you've had at a Super Bowl party that you're like, really? This is here besides a veggie tray? Is there
I
anything-
was gonna
ever
say
something
veggie
yeah,
platter.
ever something you gone to and you're like, really? Somebody brought that? Or somebody thought that was a good idea? Anything that pops in your head?
I'm going to attend the Super Bowl party with Joey and bring spam musubi.
And you will be asked to politely leave, sir.
And I'm going to bring a veggie tree.
I was just say, take your veggie tray, get the hell out of here.
Just for you, Joey.
Leave the ranch for the wings, but take your damn celery and carrots somewhere else.
Just for you.
I think we just found the title of this episode. Take your veggie tray and get the
good.
hell out of here.
I love it. I love it. Oh, and I wish the Super Bowl's happening right now, and I want something to eat. I'm hungry.
It kind of
anyway,
sucks that we're all so far apart, like across North America, basically. Because
Right.
this is one of those things outside of a convention or outside of like some kind of collecting event that I think would be a lot of fun, even for people
yeah.
that aren't into the Super Bowl or aren't into football. I think there's enough for everybody, right? Like there's
Well-
the halftime show, there's the commercials, and there's just so much going on. It's not just about football.
Well, the
And
bottom
I guess
line
it
is it's
hasn't
about
been
the
for so
fellowship,
long.
right?
right.
Before
but
everything
at the
else,
same-
it's about getting together and sharing the good time. No matter what it is that you're there for, you're there in good company.
I mean, some might say nerds unite.
Well
Some
said.
would.
Some people might say that.
Some people.
I mean, I would, but yeah, I get it. So, and Nate, I think that's a good segue to talking about something else. What do you
Yeah.
think?
Halftime entertainment. Favorite halftime entertainment that you guys have enjoyed? Halftime acts in the past that you've enjoyed?
Lady Gaga was amazing.
She was.
That might be my favorite one, not because of the music, but just the performance she put on was fantastic. Everything apparently went right, and it was a lot of fun. Like, I know a lot of people get up and move during the halftime show. In fact, I remember being at the it was 2003 when the wardrobe malfunction happened, and I was like the only person still watching. But yeah,
You weren't the only one, Clint. Don't worry.
I'll tell you what, I was actually watching the 2004 Super Bowl with the Janet JT wardrobe malfunction with 6-month-old McGuire. So we have that memory to always hold on to together, the father and son.
see anything. They zoomed out so quickly.
Yeah.
You're like,
He thought he was gonna get a
something
snack.
happened.
Yeah, he just thought it was dinner time. He's like, thank God all they had was celery and carrots, but now I've got something else.
Now
I
they
have
got
a good
some spam,
story.
too.
I have a good story on that same one. That was in Texas at Reliant Stadium in Houston, and we had actually left to go skiing during that same weekend. But we made sure we were back in the cabin so we could watch the Super Bowl. And the only TV in there was this little like 13-inch from the 1980s where you had the knobs. So we got it all set up just right, and it was a little fuzzy. We're sitting there having beers, watching, and that happens. And I'm the only one that's looking and actually catches it from across the room. And I'm like, "Did y'all just see? Was that?"
Does that just happen?
And they all were like, "No, there's no way that just happened." And of course, within hours, it was all over the web. But
Oh,
saw it from across the room on a fuzzy television.
I still know what happened. Your eyesight is amazing. I'm
Not
impressed.
anymore, but then it was.
Right.
There's
Well,
just
how
some
about-
things that like you can't unsee, and you just zoom in, just hypersensitive. You're like, hey, that's that's something.
But you know what's funny is I didn't realize those cameras, that big camera, could zoom out that fast. I don't think they've ever done it in anything else. Zoomed out as quickly as they did there. I'm
Did
like,
they cut
holy
to a different
crap!
camera? I don't remember.
They
I
did.
don't-
I remember. Did
I
they?
remember the exact moment it happened. I'm like, wait, is that what I think it is? That was an interesting year. I'll just say it like that.
Anyway, what other Super Bowl halftime shows have you guys enjoyed?
I'm gonna be partial here because he's from Hawaii, but it was also a very good performance. He's been on several years. Bruno Mars.
Mhm. Yeah, I agree with that.
That was a good
Yes.
one.
Every time he came on, even before he did it himself as the main act, when he was just a secondary guest, he just killed it.
Mm-hmm.
He's
always
such a
has.
good musician and a good
Amen.
showman. Period.
He totally is.
They put on a hell of a show. Him and his whole crew reminded me of like the Jackson 5. I saw them live at Houston Rodeo one year, and they dominated. It was so good.
Oh, I bet.
Speaking of Jackson, that '93 Super Bowl is kind of hard to beat with Michael Jackson performing at it, because you know,
Mhm.
Yep.
when Michael puts on a show, he puts on a show, and he did for that Super Bowl for sure.
That
So that's
was
probably
like-
the only other one that stands out to me.
That was
besides
like
the
the
Janet one.
Pepsi thing at the same time, right? Like they were really pushing the halftime show through Pepsi with him. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay.
It sounds vaguely familiar. Yeah.
Isn't that the one that he was up at the top of the stadium, he disappeared and he reappeared in the middle?
I think there's
Kinda
like a couple of different like body doubles or something
Yeah.
that they used for that, if I remember correctly.
Still cool. Yeah, it's a good call, man.
Super
I like
cool.
going.
Yep, that was a very good year.
Sully, you got a favorite?
You know, they all kind of blend together to me. That usually by that time in the game, I've had a few adult beverages and way too many snacks.
For sure. Sure.
I mean, they're entertaining, but look, it's not a real concert. I like real concerts, and to me, that is all. You know, there's a lot of staged stuff
Oh,
that
yeah.
goes into it. I kind of dig when you get several different bands or groups that come in. That at least keeps it lively and fresh for each of the songs. But you know, it's a filler.
Well, and then, you know, it's funny. I think it was right after the Janet Jackson one, like 3 or 4 years. They just had the bands, like classic bands, like Rolling
Yeah.
Stones and Tom Petty come on.
Aerosmith.
Yeah, like they were fun, but they weren't like. If you liked them, you liked them. But if you didn't, you were kind of like, "What's this?" Because they weren't like flashy or entertaining or anything like that. They were just there playing their instruments, which was fine with me. Like you said, it's a concert, or like a concert. But yeah, I could see why they got away from that. I think being the entertainment, what impresses me, and you guys might be in this boat, is how quickly they put stages together, take them
yeah.
apart, get
Oh,
the
yeah,
effects
for
going.
sure.
Insane.
I mean, I'm boggled. I'm like, oh wait, hold on, Shakira, hold on for a second. I got to figure out how you guys got the stage in here first. Hold on, you know.
I've
No
seen
one
some.
told you were to hold on for a second.
Yeah.
I've seen some time lapse videos before of like at different venues where they're switching it over from like a football game to a concert, and it's just crazy the amount of
Crazy.
people that are in there and the amount of work that goes into it. It's insane.
I mean, outside of the Super Bowl, just thinking about like the Staples Center, for example, they've got a basketball game at like noon, and then by 7 p.m. they got to turn into a hockey rink.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right, like, and like that's crazy to watch the time lapse of like, okay, now you've got a basketball stadium or basketball court, and you turn into ice, and it's like, this is wild. This is
And they do it more than just the floor. I mean, they do the whole
Yeah.
venue, and even the places that sell merch around.
Oh,
They
yeah.
go from
Right,
selling Lakers gear or Clippers gear to all of a sudden you got Kings gear.
Right.
It's amazing.
What's like the Giants and the why am I drawing a
Jets?
blank? The
Oh, the
Giants and the
Jets?
Jets, you know, sharing a
Early points in the game.
yeah, There you go. Sharing and them having to switch over every time that they've got to, you know, every week. I'm assuming they all just alternate weeks on when they are.
Yeah, totally. That'd be hard just from a scheduling standpoint. Nevertheless, as setting up and why can't I think of the right word? Anyway, yes,
Breakdown?
I agree. Yeah, sure, that works. I was thinking of something else, but I can't think of it right now. I apparently I need more to drink. Anyway,
Get
what
more
about?
coffee.
Wait, I almost had a cold brew before and I got denied. I was not happy about it.
Oh, I just had one, and I'm buzzing.
Not a boy.
Jonah Hill, I'm alive.
What do you guys think of this year's halftime show with Shakira and J-Lo?
Not interested.
Not at all.
I'm
Only if
curious
Pitbull
who
shows
they're
up.
gonna bring as a guest on. I have an idea about somebody that's very popular right now, who I'm not very fond of, but just makes sense.
Is it Cardi B?
Yeah, because she's done a couple tracks. with
Oh, I was kidding.
No, I'm being honest. I'm not
I
very
know.
fond of her music, but she's done a couple of tracks with J-Lo, so it just makes sense.
That
I
does
would like
make
to see
sense.
Pitbull, because I remember watching, it was like
Mr.
Amen.
Worldwide.
the World Cup a few years back in Brazil, and it was Shakira and J-Lo, and it was like, oh my god, if Pitbull shows up, I'm gonna go crazy. And Pitbull showed up,
Did you
And-
fangirl?
and it was awesome. I love Pitbull.
No, I agree, and he'd be the logical choice as well. He's a good showman. Hypes up the
Excellent.
crowd. He's got that
Yeah.
Latin flair with all of them too.
Somebody needs to bring Janet back, though. I will say that someone needs to bring
Right.
Janet on because
She needs a redemption.
She doesn't. In all fairness, she didn't do anything wrong. She stood there,
No.
and JT did it.
Yeah.
So,
He planned the whole thing. She had nothing
Yeah.
to do with that thing on her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
right. But at the same time, everyone was mad at her, and I'm like, you realize she was kind of molested if you think about it,
Yeah.
kind of thing. So I'm just saying. I'm just stating the facts here. Anyway, halftime show. Good discussion.
So one thing about the halftime show last year, remember they hyped up that SpongeBob thing where they were like, "Hey, we're gonna do the
Sweet victory.
the sweet victory."
Oh, that's right.
And I was waiting and waiting for it, and it was like 10 seconds, and it was over. And it was like, why did we hype this up for weeks and weeks that they're gonna finally do the sweet victory SpongeBob tribute? And then it was just nothing. I was super disappointed in that.
Well, I can say this. I missed out on the whole thing because I boycotted the Super Bowl last year. So I didn't see any of the Super Bowl whatsoever. Not a
There you go,
halftime show, not a commercial, not a snap, not nothing. Didn't want anything to do with that. Just get that trash out of here. It's erased from my memory.
I'm
Sitting
sorry you
there
guys
drinking Rotel.
Right. I'm sorry you
Sad
guys
face
couldn't see,
Rotel drinking.
Sully's
Yeah.
face when the light came on,
Trying
and he
to-
realized why.
Trying to drown my sorrows.
Poor Breeze.
Yeah.
3 years in a row.
He's got one
Hate
at
to
least.
see it.
It's
Hate to
frustrating.
see Saints fans being sad. Really sad.
No, you don't. It's almost like a sad Cowboys fan, isn't
Aw.
it, Nate? Yeah, that's right.
Aw,
Don't you have their
Nate.
last? Don't you have their last Super Bowl still on VHS that you could pop in and watch tomorrow?
Hey, in all
Betamax?
fairness, he can go. I don't remember what channel's having the Super Bowl, but he can go on and watch Troy Aikman tomorrow in the booth. He can listen to him talk.
I'd rather listen to Tony Romo.
Well, yeah, because he can predict
Tony
the future.
Romo is
Tony
actually
Romo is
a very
a
good analyst.
wizard. He is a football analyzing wizard. He should be working in.
You know
the
what?
Still.
Isn't
When
he
he
being
first
hired by
started-
the league as a analyst for next season?
Probably.
Really?
Somebody is
Yeah,
for sure.
I thought I
Well-
read this. And keep in mind, I'm the person not to talk about football between the four of us here. Well, five today, because I have the least knowledge about it. But I could have sworn I read that somewhere, that the league is actually going to hire him to be an analyst next year.
Interesting.
Yep.
So quarterback was really just like his internship.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a stepping stone.
Apparently it worked. Good for him. I wish
He's
my
also-
internship
he's-
played
he's
millions of
also-
dollars.
He's also a pretty damn good golfer too. Like if he
Oh,
would
yeah.
have concentrated on that instead of football, like no doubt he would have been on the tour.
Yeah, he's played in a couple of tournaments where they basically like they brought him in and paid him to be a part of it, even though he didn't make the cut,
Yeah,
and still played very well.
yeah. He's a scratch golfer,
Yeah.
which is pretty impressive. And that's like on like the PGA tees and at
Right.
PGA type of courses, not like at your local muni.
Right.
Teeing off from the red tees.
Yeah. Apparently, Jerry Rice is also a scratch golfer. Jerry Rice is also very good.
Is there anything Jerry Rice can't do?
Well, he didn't win Dancing with the Stars, if I remember right.
But he did really
I
well.
thought he did
do well.
win.
Yeah.
Maybe he did win after I said that. I was thinking of another receiver, Calvin Johnson or something. Anyway, there you go. He can do it all. What about let's talk the actual game. Kansas City Chiefs versus I forgot the other team. San Francisco 49ers.
Bang, bang,
It
bang.
doesn't matter.
Hey,
point
not
for the game.
necessary to know for our Super Bowl episode what two teams are playing, Clint. Don't worry about it. We'll just blow that off.
Well,
We'll edit that out.
Okay, fine. You want to rewind? Anyway, do we want to do final score predictions? Anybody? I will
I'm
go
going
first. Oh, go ahead, Joey, please.
Chiefs 42, Niners 28.
Wow, you think
pretty good.
that, huh? See, I think it's going to be a lot closer, and I think that the other team's going to win. I think it's going to be something like 35-34 San Francisco. I think defense is going to end up winning this game for them.
Once the Saints get eliminated, I'm always rooting for the AFC team in the Pro Bowl.
Oh, I didn't ask who you're
It
rooting for.
didn't
That's what your final score
matter.
was.
Well, if I'm going to predict the score, I'm going to predict who I want to win as well.
Okay.
Defense wins championships.
Amen.
True.
I'm going to
Amen.
go 35-21 in favor of the Chiefs.
I'm going to say 37-34 in favor of the Niners.
Ooh.
Ooh, I'm still
just-
picking the Chiefs though because I hate the Niners.
Well, I hate the Chiefs, so
I have a
there
lot
you
of
go.
family members that are Niners fans, so if I don't root for them, I'll probably get strangled. And I will not be
Geographically-
invited to the next family party.
Geographically speaking, is that the closest NFL team to you?
Seahawks.
No, I think
The only one
It's
over
got to be
there.
one of the South Californian teams. Huh?
Because it's not San Diego anymore.
I was
It's
going to
LA.
say San
so-
Diego, but they're not there anymore.
Right.
For the Chargers. I don't know. I actually
That's a good
don't
question.
know the distance between us and San Fran and us in other Southern California cities. So I can't really give you a for sure answer. I guess I'll have to look it up.
Way to not know your geography. I'm disappointed.
That's what I get for hanging out with you.
Fair enough.
Losing
Fair answer,
geography knowledge.
He's like, which way's up?
Sooner or later, I'm not going to be able to count because I hang out with Nate.
It's true. You're getting stupider every week.
So are you hoping to be taller by hanging out with Joey?
That is the goal.
That's
yes.
the goal for all of us. I think.
That is the goal.
But for me, I think I'd go 28-21 Chiefs.
You think it's gonna? Oh, you think it's gonna be a lot low scoring, huh?
It's gonna be yeah. I think yeah. Plus
The
also
Chiefs-
episode 28. 28.
Oh, I see.
what you did there.
Math. I did math,
Math.
friends.
Yay.
You did number recognition. I don't know if I call it math. Okay.
Close enough. It involved numbers.
Fair enough.
But on top of the halftime show, there's always the commercials. And the commercials are always some of the best and funniest things that we see during the Super Bowl. And I'll caveat this with saying, as a Canadian, we would never get the American commercials. So I would have to go on YouTube and watch them afterwards. It is awful.
Like any of them at all,
We would, I think we do now, but there were for years and years and years, we would get nothing. And there was one year, I remember, we were hosting the Winter Olympics here in Vancouver, and the entire time was just Olympic commercials for the entire Super Bowl. And all I'm seeing on Twitter is people talking about these great commercials. I'm like, oh, look, I just watched a local news commercial about the Winter Olympics again. I'm singing, reciting these commercials because that's the only commercial they're showing.
That's crazy.
That's lame.
The commercials are my favorite part too. Like I'll go use the
they are
bathroom
great.
while the game's going on. So I don't miss the commercials.
Right?
I don't
So
blame you
true.
at all.
No argument there.
It's very true.
Especially during last year's snooze fest.
What?
What?
No.
You picked an excellent Super Bowl to boycott then.
You absolutely did.
I really like the commercials, but I kind of hate the fact that now they've moved to people showing the commercials in advance of the Super
Oh,
Bowl.
I hate that.
Yeah.
I don't like that
I
at all.
almost would not watch anything, but that Fast trailer I had to watch.
Yeah.
But any of the other ones that have gone up, I haven't.
When I finally figured that they started that a few years ago, that trend of showing them ahead of time, I've seen, YouTube says this one. I'm not watching that big game, as they call it, because they can't say Super Bowl all the time. I'm not watching that commercial. I want to see it as part of the Super Bowl. But there's like so many classics that I would love or I would have hated to miss seeing in the Super Bowl, like especially the Bird and Jordan horse game for the McDonald's.
Oh, that was
That's
great.
like one of my
That was
all-time
so good.
favorites.
All-time best commercials.
Off so-and-so's head.
And the
In
Bud
the
Bowl.
dress.
What happened to the Bud Bowl? They need to bring back Bud Bowl. That needs to be trending on Twitter tomorrow.
Yeah.
Bring back
Didn't you
the
have
Bud
to
Bowl.
switch channels for that? Or was that like one of the other ones? I know there's several halftime
It's
shows.
like the Puppy Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Puppy Bowl.
Yeah, no, the Bud Bowl was like commercials that they
What
did
was-
where it was the Bud Light bottles versus the Budweiser bottles. It
Very
was,
realistic.
yeah, need to look that one up on YouTube if y'all haven't seen that.
Some of my favorite memories have come from them launching the first trailers for big movies.
Yes,
during
that
the
was
Super
always
Bowl.
special too, yeah.
The Matrix, the first time they showed that was during the Super Bowl, and I was just like, what is happening? I got to see this thing as soon as possible. And then we had Steve over with some friends one time, and we were watching, I forget which year, and they showed the Transformers with Grimlock. And was it Grimlock?
Yeah.
Was that the dinosaur?
Yep.
He lost it and screamed at the top of his lungs, and all of us dropped our wings and our beers because I've never heard him that excited in my life.
Yeah.
Freak out. That's awesome.
Oh, that's great.
Well,
I think like, go ahead, Glenn. Yeah.
Nope. After you. You had a good thought. Go ahead.
Do you remember the E-Trade commercial with the talking baby? That
Yes.
it was shocking. It was weird, and I was like,
Talk about when he started throwing up.
yeah.
So weird.
It's just I don't understand any of this, but I'm just
man.
gonna keep watching.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. This
Yeah.
is,
The ones
yeah.
with the ones with kids and old people are usually my favorite.
Yeah.
Well, it seems
That's
like
why
now. Go ahead. Seems like
That's
now.
why the one with the Darth Vader kid, where he starts the
Volkswagen one?
Volkswagen.
Yeah,
That one,
was a
and
great
then
one.
the Betty White Snickers one where she's
Yes.
playing tackle football. Yeah,
Which they've been teasing another one. I don't know if you guys have been following. I think on Twitter it comes up with the prompt or promoted, and I think they're teasing another Betty White Snickers commercial. Which
Oh, that would be
Awesome.
epic.
I'd be
Looking
okay with.
forward to it.
Yeah, ditto. I'm glad you said something about the previewing the commercials beforehand. I totally agree with you. On the other end, though, I mean, it's crazy how some of these commercials have had impact for all of history. 1984, of course, the Apple commercial that introduced the Macintosh that premiered during the Super Bowl. That started all this. Fun fact, it has only been paid for by Apple to view one time.
Yep.
That was during the Super Bowl. Everything else you've ever seen has been somebody else doing it for them.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
How insane is that? And I mean, that's so cool.
A lot of money in production to make that commercial too. It wasn't cheap.
No, but I mean, the fact that people are paying for it for them to view it is, Apple was innovating in 1984. It just wasn't with iPhones; it was with commercials.
Yeah,
right.
But there's been so many of those commercials through the years that you've seen then, and then to go on and have a history, or they build on top of. I mean, even today, the Dorito commercials or like the Bud Light commercials always seem to have a theme and build on what's already going on. I know, like Dilly Dilly was that last year. Where they did that all year, and then they brought that back in the Super Bowl. Exactly. We need to bring that back because that's fantastic.
I just thought of something else cool. 2 years ago, I think, was when Netflix dropped the trailer for the Cloverfield movie, and then they said, and you can watch it tonight.
Yes.
And then dropped it after the game. I thought that was genius, and I really hoped last year they would do it again with something else, but they didn't. Maybe this year they'll bring it back.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
That's just what a smart way to do that, because you got people's attention. They're probably calling in sick on Monday anyway, so why not stay up?
Well, and then you brought up viewing them beforehand. It's like you have the eyes then, and you lose them if you don't necessarily show it beforehand. So keep that interest and keep people watching the game. You would think even the NFL would say the commercials you can't. If you're going to do a commercial during our show, you can't show it beforehand. You know what I mean?
Right. Make it exclusive to watching it during the game. Yeah. I know a lot of shows do our season premiere is right after the Super Bowl. Like I know Simpsons have done it a bunch of times, and like just other really big shows that are just like you're watching the Super Bowl, and you're like, okay, well, I'm gonna stick around and just continue watching after the game's over, just to catch the season premiere of certain shows.
What is it this year?
Probably The Masked Singer or something goofy.
Oh, they've already done. I saw some polls on Twitter about that earlier today.
Yeah.
Aren't they introducing 3 new characters for The Masked Singer? Like 3 new
4,
outfits?
I think.
Is it 4?
I think
something
it's 4.
like that.
Yeah.
It's not. It's a cool concept. I mean, I know we're going off on a tangent here, but it's just not really my thing.
That never happens at all.
We've been surprisingly on topic today, which is kind of
pretty good.
We're trying to impress Sully.
Yeah.
You guys are doing a fine job.
I think honorable mention for commercials before we move on from it is 2013. They had that. I don't remember what the brand was, but the Miracle Stain. You guys remember that?
Mm-mm.
That's the last time that the Niners played in the Super Bowl, right? So when I was doing some research for it, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I remember that commercial now.
The Miracle Stain.
I think it was Tide or something. Where
it probably was.
He drops a chip with salsa on his shirt, and I think it looks like Elway, if I'm not mistaken. Frames it, he gets all famous, and then all of a sudden he looks up on his wall. He's like, "Honey, where's my jersey?" She's like, "Oh, I washed it. There was a stain on it."
Yeah, I do remember that one now when you mentioned her washing the jersey. Yeah.
And 2012, I know Joey's gonna agree with me 100% on this one, since we're talking about movies. When they dropped the trailer for Iron Man 3. One of his favorite movies, of course.
The famous Christmas movie.
Thank you.
Confirmed right there.
Confirmed. Thank you.
I might have listened to you guys a couple of times.
Yeah, I apologize to our listeners. Sully has just been cut off for some reason off the podcast. The
so weird.
Connection dropped.
I got him back. We're good. That was a scary moment.
Where'd you not? Here comes the real special guest.
Here's another tangent. I know you do the run-in for the beginning of your Funko Funcast. You need to fade out when you say it, just to.
Exactly.
I think that'd be hilarious.
The bookend.
There you go. Exactly. Yes, the commercials. I do have to say, I think it's interesting. We have now build-ups to commercials, and like in the sense that there's rumors that tomorrow during the Super Bowl they're going to announce when the second part of season 4 of Rick and Morty is going to start.
Right.
It's crazy that we have rumors for commercials at this point. And
so we're at the point where we have trailers for commercials. And it's like it's so goofy. And I think Ryan will appreciate this. Like back in the day, remember when like rappers would drop music videos and they would drop a teaser video for their rap music video, and it's like, why is this happening? Why is this a thing? Just drop the damn video, drop the damn commercial. You don't need to do all this extra stuff.
I got another good Super Bowl story. Hopefully, I'm not holding up us on time here, but I worked for Reliant Energy in Houston for years doing social media, and that was Reliant Stadium. So, of course, we were affiliated with it. I didn't have access to their channels by any means, but I'm sitting there. I've had quite a few beers during. I think it was it was in New Orleans when the Super Bowl was there, and when the power went out.
Yep, that was New Orleans.
I'm sitting there. I've had at least 4 or 5, 6 beers. I shouldn't have my phone, much less access to the Twitter account for a Fortune 100 company, but it did. The power goes out, and I just bust out my phone and just tweeted, "We had nothing to do with it," and then put my phone away. The next morning, I go into work, and there is an emergency meeting. I didn't call in sick. There's an emergency meeting. Everyone, all hands, get into this room. We have got to figure out what we can do to capitalize on that crazy blackout from last night. They're like, what can we tweet? I'm like, have none of you who work on this entire marketing team bothered to look at our own Twitter account? And they're like, no. It's like, I already handled it. And you look, and sure enough, we had tens of thousands of likes.
I was going to say, I think I remember that tweet because I remember
it was insane. Oreo owned it that year because they had a team on standby, and they actually produced an image that it was all black and just had an Oreo down in the corner with a spotlight on it. And it said, even good in the dark. And they tweeted it within like minutes of the power going out. And I was like, that's how you do it. That's social media right there. Just owned it.
You gotta stay on top of when things like that happen. They just gotta capitalize on it immediately.
That's how things go viral. I'm putting it in quotes because I hate that term, but it's the only term we have.
Right.
What year was that?
Oh God, had to have been like 2010, 2011, maybe. 12?
I'm scrolling my phone through Reliant Energy. I want to see if I can find that.
Good luck.
It was the Ravens Niners Super Bowl. Is the one
I remember
Joe
the game.
Flacco was MVP. So you can probably just Google Joe Flacco MVP year.
The last time Joe Flacco won a football game.
And he got a massive contract and turned into nothing.
Yeah.
And then he played for the Broncos and fell apart. Anyway, moving on.
So, before we get into game time, let me announce the winners for our contest.
Winners,
Winners,
you say.
Winner picker.
So just a quick recap of what you could have won.
You're gonna rub it in, right?
What you could have won, but you didn't.
For everyone who didn't win or didn't enter, shame on you for not entering.
There
it was
you go.
super easy. You could have won some stickers, buttons, and a magnet. You could have also won some Star Wars Pops. And you could have also won the grand prize, which was a Social Media Freddy replica cup made by Kelly, AOK20 on Twitter. A Freddy Space Needle Pop exclusive to Funko headquarters in Everett. And a Garfield with a coffee mug Funko Shop exclusive.
Because we all hate Mondays.
We all hate Mondays. And everyone's calling in. Yeah.
Yep.
After the Super Bowl. So, third place, we have...
That was my drum roll. Or my Carly B, whatever.
The winner is not Cardi B.
Thank you. It's not. I'm glad that
She's not a winner at all.
If she'd have entered, that'd have been awesome, though.
It would have been awesome if she entered.
From a comment on SoundCloud, just randomly in one of our episodes. You
Just
guys are doing great.
Yeah, just the sound that she makes, but in letters.
Just a bunch of R's.
Third place, Manny, Night Bodega. Congratulations, Manny. We're sending you some stickers, some buttons, and a fridge magnet, so you can hopefully enjoy pineapple pizza one day.
He's done it numerous times to make everybody happy. Give him credit.
That's true.
Sully's favorite. Sully's favorite.
I'm with you, Sully. So I would try the jalapeno and pineapple for the sweet and spicy, like you mentioned.
I do want to try that.
Second place, D7, the fat bearded nerd. He won via SoundCloud. So
I believe that's 7, right?
I think so. I'll reach out to him on SoundCloud to make sure it'll hit up the right person.
Cool.
That's actually my other account.
You've won
because you don't have access to Star Wars Pops at all.
Yeah, no access to Pops at all.
Life is rough.
Yeah. Congratulations. Some Star Wars Pops are coming your way. And our first place winner, recent Fanatic of the Week, Meg.
Hey.
Mountain Meg.
A lot to represent.
Yeah,
I love it, Meg.
So, congratulations to the winners. Again, shame on you if you didn't enter. thank you for all of those that did enter.
We had a bunch.
We'll definitely be doing a lot more of these in the future. We had a lot of fun doing it. Yeah. So,
But with that said, please keep doing bingo. We love seeing that.
Yes.
2020 is the year of Meg. Meg, go buy some lottery tickets.
Buy some scratch
we went in on some of that. Yeah.
Yeah. Or I'm gonna have her buy me some lottery tickets.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'll live vicariously through everybody since we don't have any legal gambling here in Hawaii. So
just illegal. That's some more fun stuff anyway.
Yep. No legal gambling.
No lottery, no nothing like that.
No lottery. I wish they did because maybe they could make some money to fix the damn roads because we got potholes all over the place. But that's a whole nother discussion. And
I was gonna say this isn't putting up. Yeah, let's keep moving.
Yeah.
Hey, what time is it?
Sorry, what?
Okay, fine. But anyway, what time is it?
It's game time. So this week's game is named after one of my favorite NFL analysts, now back to head coaching again, John Gruden. This week's game is called Spider 2 Y Banana. For those of you that are huge NFL fans, you know exactly what we're talking about. It is an actual play, but I just love that, Spider 2 Y Banana. I need to get that on a T-shirt, by the way.
Emojis.
For your team?
All emojis.
All emojis.
Do you call that play when you're coaching, Joey?
Nah. We did have a play called 330 double dump, though, and that was always a fun one to call just because it's called dump.
Double dump.
Yes.
Double dump.
Brought to you by X-Lax.
Yes, it is.
Sponsored and friend of the podcast. Excellent.
Please go on before we say anything else wrong.
All right. So for this week's game, y'all going to choose one of the 32 NFL teams. Their number of Super Bowl appearances times 10 will be the total number of points you can earn. There's no loss of points. If they have not made an appearance, which there are 4 teams that have not made a Super Bowl appearance, so if you know them, good for you. You can avoid them. Sully knows one.
I know one.
You will then be given a clue about a player from that team that has appeared in a movie or TV show. If you guess the player, you get the points. And then if you can name their position, you get an extra 5 points. So, of course, you got to get the player right first to earn the bonus 5 points. There's no loss of points for wrong answers. However, some teams have no actors that have been given a clue for them, and that will lead to a loss of a turn, not a loss of points, but a loss of a turn. And just for clarification, when you choose one of these teams, some of these players have played for multiple teams, but they have been assigned to random teams so that I could fill more spots because that became a difficult chore after a while. So,
Gotcha. All right.
So the order will be Sully will go first, then Nate, then Ryan, and then Clint, you'll bring us home.
Okay. Quick question on the teams that don't have a Super Bowl. You can still pick them though, right?
Yes, that's correct. So you can still pick them, and they may or may not have somebody assigned to them.
But then you get, is it 5 points for that?
Yes, correct. So even if they've never made a Super Bowl appearance, you can still earn 5 points for getting it right, and then 5 more points for guessing the player's position.
Not that I would, but just okay, great.
All right. Well, I would normally pick my Texans, but I think we all know how that would work out. So I'm going to go for the big points, and I'm going to say the New England Patriots.
All right, then. I was waiting for somebody.
Sully, they're the newest team, too. They're not like, been around as long as, I don't know, the Browns or the Lions.
By the way,
I appreciate that.
Shout out to Cliffy, since we kind of bagged on him last week about the Patriots and everything. So,
hey, Cliffy, I hope you enjoy the game.
All right. So your clue for the New England Patriots, who have been to 11 Super Bowls and is worth 110 points. Sully's playing the game the right way.
I'm not just going to leave.
Your clue is, while playing in the NFL from 1979 until 1992, he was voted to 3 Pro Bowls and played for the Patriots, the Browns, and the Raiders. Following retirement, he took up acting, most famously appearing as Mike Rogers on Saved by the Bell, The College Years.
I have no clue. Oh, that's sad. I was really hoping for Brady. It's not Brady. I was hoping you were going to go. Brady. I hope you were going Ted 2 on me. I was really counting on that. Yeah, I got nothing. Sorry.
Correct answer is Bob Golick.
Oh, Golick. That makes sense. I remember him slightly that.
Does
no, it doesn't actually. I'm just agreeing.
Instead of go lick, I got licked.
I was hoping you'd say he recently appeared in his own documentary, and you could say Aaron Hernandez. You know.
Oh.
Nope. That's archival
my
footage, by the
choice,
way.
really.
Yeah. All right, Nate, pick a team.
I'm gonna steal Ryan's team. I'm gonna go with the Niners.
Damn you.
Ryan's team.
San Francisco 49ers have been to 7 Super Bowls, so this will be worth 70 points, possibly 75 if you can get the position right. Your clue for the 49ers: this person made a name for themselves in the NFL playing for the 49ers and Rams from 1961 to 1968. Afterwards, he appeared in a number of films, including Brian's Song, Never Say Never Again, I'm Gonna Get You Sucker, Another 48 Hours, and When I Find the Ocean.
It's Samuel Jackson, man.
Mother.
Samuel.
Haven't you seen my movies?
Path of the Righteous Man.
There are snakes on a mother effing plane.
We can swear here, Clint. This is
That's right.
safe
I know.
space. I'm stalling. I have no idea.
The correct answer is Bernie Casey.
Oh,
Yeah,
Well, that makes total
Yes.
sense. Sure.
You know I'm going to make the higher point ones more difficult. Come on, guys.
Yeah,
Y'all played this game enough times. Poor Sully, though. He had no idea what he was getting into.
No.
Ryan,
Seahawks.
Seahawks have been to 3 Super Bowls, so you're up for 30, possibly 35 points with your question. Your question is, after being forced to retire from the NFL due to injuries, this player embarked on an acting career with a role in 1991's Stone Cold, then starred in a number of straight-to-DVD releases, but he would later land roles in the remakes of The Longest Yard and What Men Want.
Oh, I know this one.
Oh, I know this one, I think.
I don't. Hot dog.
Oh,
God.
God damn it.
Ryan, that's -5 points for saying hot dog during the game.
And here I'm trying to be generous with a bingo square, but
Mickey Mouse would be proud, though.
Sorry, already wrote it down. It's a thing.
There it is. It's
a
official.
thing.
In the ledger.
Official.
Pencil,
It's-
nothing erases pencil.
It is pencil, but I don't have an eraser on the pencil, so it is permanent.
Okay. All right,
It
fine.
is permanent.
So what is the answer for those of you that know?
Nate, Sully?
My guess was going to be Terry Crews.
Nope.
God dang it.
It's actually the Boz, Brian Bosworth.
Okay.
Alrighty, Ryan. Excuse me, Clint, your choice.
Steelers.
Steelers, good choice because they have
Yeah.
been to 8 Super Bowls, so this is worth 80 points.
Can I just say Terry Bradshaw to start it and call it good?
Moving on, Sully. Choice, Sully. What do you want to choose?
No, finish my question. Come on now.
It's Terry Bradshaw, you dingus. You already got it.
You got the point.
Yeah. I hate
Oh,
you.
and he played quarterback, by the way.
No, I'm not giving you the 5 points. Too late. I already moved on to Sully. You can just suck it and keep your 80.
can I have those 5 points and make me back to 0 then?
No, those are my 5 points.
Yes, I gave them back to Ryan. So Ryan's back to 0. Clint only has 80. Sully, your choice.
Ryan, I love you.
All
Thank
right.
you.
I will go with the Indianapolis Colts.
Righty then. So the Colts have been to 4 Super Bowls. I do want to preface that this one is being given with the Baltimore Colts.
Okay.
So that should give you a clue.
So
that
I already
the players
don't know.
are a little, no. Don't think that. Don't think that. Your clue: after playing college football at Michigan State, this player would be the first pick in the 1967 NFL Draft and went on to play 9 seasons in the NFL. After his football career was over, he began appearing in movies and television commercials in the 70s and 80s. He is best known for appearing in a number of Miller Lite commercials, but most famously as Moses Hightower in the Police Academy series.
Oh,
I didn't know he was a football player. That's
I
a
didn't know that
Yeah,
either.
neither.
Can you think of his name, though, Sully?
that is the challenge right there. Dang it.
Who's
It's
clicking there?
Bubba
Stop that.
Smith.
That's Nate. Nate's
It
looking
is
up.
Bubba Smith. Very good, Sully.
Well done, sir.
Do you know what position old Bubba played?
Oh, boy. Do I lose points if I'm wrong?
No, sir.
Okay. Bubba Smith had to be some sort of offensive or defensive lineman, I would think. Like, he wasn't fast enough to be a...
Receiver. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't know. Let's go tight end, just for grins.
Close. Defensive end.
Okay.
You got the end part right, but you still have 40 points now.
On the board.
I never
On
even
the
thought of him
board.
as a football player. That's crazy. That's great.
Nate.
Good
The Buffalo Bills.
Buffalo Bills.
He said
And
reluctantly.
just to let you know, I took out O.J. Simpson.
Okay.
Oh.
That is not an option for the Bills.
Good.
So and this was very interesting, by the way, the person that's in this. I did not know this about them. I'll say that much. So a little hint there. But they've been to 4 Super Bowls, 3 in a row, by the way. So sorry for the
They
Buffalo
lost
Bill
all
fans.
3.
Yeah, they lost all 3.
Wide
Your
right.
clue.
Wide right.
Wide right. Good Lord. Okay. Your clue for the Buffalo Bills. I just dropped my papers. Ryan can edit that out, I guess, or just leave that in for people to laugh at me for dropping my papers.
Let's all laugh at him.
I like that you have papers, though. That's nice.
Oh my gosh, there's a lot of papers here for all this stuff that I had to do. As a standout for Princeton University, this person would sign as a free agent to play with the Buffalo Bills. Unfortunately, a knee injury in training camp forced him to retire from the NFL. He turned to acting and starred in a number of commercials and smaller roles before being cast in Lois and Clark.
Wow.
Well, it's a show that I never watched.
It's about explorers.
I have no idea.
You don't know who played Superman in the Lois and
I was
Clark
gonna say,
series?
was it? Okay.
Was
that's
it
what I
really?
think.
Really?
Can I say it? Actually, I know an answer.
We'll let Nate try first.
Okay.
Or do you not
go
know,
ahead,
Nate?
man.
You don't know?
Dean
Who is
Cain?
it then?
Dean
It is
Cain?
Dean Cain.
Wow.
Yes.
I did not know that.
Wow.
He played for the
I didn't know
Bills.
that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he
Oh,
made it out
now-
of training camp from what I can see, but he,
I don't
he was
remember him playing.
Yeah.
He was a standout at Princeton, apparently.
Interesting.
That
I
explains
mean, he's
his,
got the build. Yeah.
his size, his build. Yeah.
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 Alrighty, we are back to Ryan, who is back to 0 points because I
Yes.
stole 5 of Clint's and gave them to him.
That's the way you do it. This is the way.
If I lose by 5, I'm gonna be so pissed.
No, you're not. Let's go Dolphins.
Choose a team.
Dolphins.
Dolphins.
I was thinking that. Good pick. Good pick.
have been to 5 Super Bowls, so this will be worth 50 points. During his playing days, this person was known as a longtime spokesman for Isotoner gloves. Once his Hall of Fame career came to an end, he moved on to football commentary and small roles in film. In Adam Sandler's Little Nicky, he was shown asking the devil for a Super Bowl win, but he is probably best known for being kidnapped by cross-dressing psycho Ray Finkel in Ace Ventura: Pet Detective. Laces out!
I was gonna say that.
Finkel
but
and Einhorn.
Yes.
Finkel and Einhorn.
Dan Marino,
Dan Marino
According to
is
Dan
correct.
Shula.
And the position, please.
quarterback.
Quarterback, very good.
Damn.
He was
good
also
job,
in
man.
Bad Boys 2.
Yeah, he was.
He was test driving the
He was.
Cadillac.
Wasn't
That's
that?
right.
Yeah, the
And
Cadillac.
They pulled him
right?
out of the car.
Cadillac. Yeah, like you should buy
Sure,
this.
officers, anything you need. You should buy this
Yeah.
car.
Not this one. We're gonna fuck this one up.
Well played.
Clint.
Oh, I'm having. Let's go Rams.
Very good then. The Rams have been to a total of 4 Super Bowls. So this is worth 40 points.
Okay.
Never an actual Broadway star, this charismatic player has appeared on a number of television shows, including The A-Team, The Simpsons, and Alf. He even guest hosted The Tonight Show, starring Johnny Carson on several occasions.
Is it Ed McMahon?
That is incorrect.
I had no idea. I was going to
famous
say John Rivers, but that
linebacker.
wasn't right either.
You should have listened carefully to the first part of that, although you probably don't know he played for them, or maybe you did, but it was never an actual Broadway star.
Oh, are you saying okay, Broadway Joe or Broadway?
Yeah, Broadway
Yeah.
Joe. Joe Namath
Broadway
was
Joe,
the correct
yeah.
answer. Yep.
I thought he'd be for the Jets. All right.
Yep. No, I moved
Are
some
you
people around.
disappointed with that answer? After
Am I?
last week, Joey?
Yeah,
Oh.
he should have said Tree Namath. I'd have given
Yeah,
him bonus
okay.
points, but he didn't.
I would have won it all with that, huh?
All right. So, Sully, you are back up.
Can we get a point update?
Yes, sir. Sorry. Clint is in the lead with 80 points. Ryan is in second place with 45. You are in third with 40, and Nate has 0.
Excellent.
Donut.
All
I was
right,
actually
I'm gonna
hoping that
go. I'm gonna go strategic on one I think you might go for. I'm gonna go with the Oakland Raiders.
Oakland Raiders have been to 5 Super Bowls, or the Raiders have been to 5 Super Bowls total. So you are up for 50 possible points. The man who will always be remembered as Apollo Creed also played briefly in the NFL and CFL. With many acting roles under his belt, including playing Chubbs Peterson in Happy Gilmore, he has most recently played Grief Karga in The Mandalorian.
He was in Arrested Development.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I can rattle his name off any other day.
I was going to say, you said it like this week.
I know. Oh, this is going to kill me. I'm so mad at myself right now.
Don't get it. Michael B. Jordan.
I've seen him live at a panel. I'm so mad. I'm blanking. I can't come up with it. Son of a gun.
Are you giving up?
Yeah, I'm going to be so mad at myself.
You are. Yeah, sorry.
It was Carl Weathers.
Weathers. God dang it.
What position did he play?
Linebacker.
Can I say a side note on that? I did see him at Emerald City Comic Con a few years ago, and at the age of like 65, he was wearing a blazer and jeans, and you could make out his muscles through the blazer.
That's impressive.
I mean, and he's like 70 something now, isn't he? He looks great.
I mean, and still in amazing shape.
Yeah.
I am an idiot. Move on.
Well, that's because he made stew out of used chicken bones that I learned from Arrested Development. You know,
his acting school.
Right?
Yeah.
God,
Nate, it's your chance to get on the board.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get on the board here. Let's go with Dub Bears.
Dub Bears
Dub Bears
have surprisingly only been to 2 Super Bowls. Yeah, so this is worth 20 points. Though.
Chris Farley,
So-
final answer.
Mike Myers.
Lord,
George
Ryan.
Wendt.
Hot dog.
Here we go. Considered one of the greatest players to ever play the game, this person had a Hall of Fame career with the Chicago Bears. Since that time, though, he's moved on to make a number of appearances in movies and television. Notable roles include Blue Thunder, Any Given Sunday, My Two Dads, and Necessary Roughness.
Fuck.
Dude, I feel bad for you. Just name a famous Chicago Bears
I was
player.
going to say, yeah.
Mike Ditka?
Ditka didn't play for the Bears.
Did he?
No, he coached them. He never played for them.
Dick Butkus is the correct
Oh,
answer.
There it is.
Yeah.
Which is appropriate because you come away with Butkus as far as points.
Yeah.
Round is
Wow.
turned, and so far, nice one.
Shots fired.
Yep. Ryan, your turn.
Tennessee Titans.
Tennessee Titans have been to.
Do you count the Oilers or just the Titans?
Oh, yeah.
Well, it won't matter. It's still the same
Yeah,
number of
still.
Super Bowl appearances.
Yeah,
I guess you would know that if anybody, right?
have been to 1, but Ryan, you did pick our bomb square.
Oh.
So
Oh,
And here I was picking it because of Marcus Mariota, but
What's he
All
been
right.
in?
huh?
What's he been in?
That's true. I didn't think of
Clint.
obviously I didn't think that far. So yeah. Oh well.
Let's see. Let's do the 49ers.
He already did it.
we already did the
I did
Niners.
it. Damn it. I wasn't sure. I was thinking I
lost around.
Good try. I gotta admit, I think you're trying to get me to do the Broncos because nobody's been there. So I'm not gonna say the Broncos. I'm
Okay.
gonna say the Cowboys. Take that big point away from somebody.
From
Okay,
Nate.
the Cowboys have been to a total of 8 Super Bowls.
Mm-hmm.
So this is worth 80, possibly 85 points if you can get this one correct. Your clue: the brash football personality has been equally brash during stints on ESPN radio and television programming. His biggest foray into the world of acting came in 2005 when he co-starred as a convict in the Adam Sandler remake of The Longest Yard.
Is that Michael Irvin?
It is Michael Irvin. Correct. Very
He was
good.
He was a receiver.
85 points.
Dang, nice.
Yes.
Stir in the pot.
Yep.
Take 5 points away from him for that dumb dance and give it to
So everybody's got the same points heading into the next round, except for Clint, who's got, I don't know, some points. All right. Sully, your choice again.
Let's go Broncos.
Ooh.
Broncos.
I mean, they
The
have a lot of
Broncos-
Super Bowls.
Broncos have been to a total of 8 Super Bowls.
Right.
Your clue.
Oh.
Known for spitting and punching his way through the NFL, this person is perhaps the only NFL player who can claim to have ended another player's career by punching him in the face during practice. He has had acting roles in The Longest Yard, The Benchwarmers, and Get Smart.
You know this.
I'll go Terry Crews again.
No, it's not
Really?
Terry Crews.
It's Bill Romanowski.
It is Bill Romanowski.
Okay. I did not know
that. Bill Romanowski.
But at least I took that away from you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And to be honest,
Strategy.
Sometimes that's a smart play, too.
his biography is amazing. If you guys ever wanted something to read, wonderful.
Carl
read.
Weathers is the answer. Carl Weathers.
You're gonna recite
Nate.
that to yourself back and forth,
so
back and
Carl-
forth for the rest of the day.
For-
Sitting there
for-
rocking back and forth.
For those that listen, is
Weathers.
Carl Weathers going to be to Sully like Ryan Gosling is for Nate?
Yeah.
Got no
Maybe.
Sore subject.
Got notebook.
Nate.
That's the title for today. Got notebooked.
Got notebook.
Nate, your choice.
The Giants.
Giants have been to 5 Super Bowls, so this will be worth possibly 50 points for you if you can get this correct.
Okay.
And another 5 if you can get the position correct, of course. A 10-time Pro Bowl selection. This person is widely regarded as the greatest defensive player to ever play the game. In recent years, the 2-time Super Bowl winner has cleaned up his act and appeared in a number of on-screen roles, including The Waterboy, Any Given Sunday, and the Samuel L. Jackson remake of Shaft. He's also lent his voice to video games such as Grand Theft Auto Vice City and Blitz the League.
Blitz.
Captain Insano.
Lawrence Taylor.
Very good. Position.
I'm surprised Sully's not saying J.J. Watt.
Oh.
I knew that wasn't right.
I thought the same thing with Von Miller.
Carl Weathers.
Final
His
answer.
position was Ryan Gosling. No. He was a defensive tackle?
Nope. Linebacker.
Linebacker.
Like regarded as the greatest linebacker maybe ever. He's the one that kind of redefined the left tackle position. I don't know if you've ever read the Blind Side book.
Oh,
You know
yeah,
that
yeah.
the movie was based off of.
Right.
They talk a lot about him, and that's why left tackles got started paying so much after he ended Joe Theismann's career, I think, with a tackle from behind.
I remember Blitz the League. Because
Broke his
he
leg.
used to do steroids at halftime.
You used to do steroids at halftime when you
No,
played that
dude.
game?
You
Dang,
can't
Nate.
do it in the
He
game.
still does. Why do you think he's angry all the time?
Ryan, your choice.
Falcons.
Falcons have been to a grand total of 2 Super Bowls.
You can tell I'm not very strategy driven here. I'm
So
just
this will
not
be worth-
real familiar with the game. So
This will be worth 20, possibly 25 points. This person has hosted Saturday Night Live and starred as himself in numerous movies and television shows, including Draft Day, Arliss, and The League. Never one to shy away from the limelight. He also released a rap album in 1994 and also has starred in 2 music videos of pal MC Hammer.
Deion Sanders.
Very good. Can you name his position, though?
No, I don't know what he played.
Would he get away with saying punt returner or kick returner?
I was about to say the
I
same
would have.
thing.
Yeah, he
I
played
would
so
actually
many
allow
Really?
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
He played a bunch
Cornerback
of
though was his
positions.
main.
Okay, I thought there was
Right.
going to be a more specific one like that, so I was like, whatever. But hence my strategy. At least I figured,
Hey.
okay, he's the most famous
Yes.
person out of that, right?
Clint.
Let's go with. Oh, I just had him and I lost him on top of my head. Oh, it's gonna drive me nuts now. Hold on. I'm trying to go through the teams we've done now and haven't done. Packers.
I'm so glad somebody finally picked the Packers one, and I'm so glad that it was you that picked it as well.
Oh no.
Oh,
Couldn't
no.
have-
It's a
couldn't have happened
bomb.
to a better person. I'm in town to play the Dolphins, you dumbass. Who can forget those immortal words uttered by this person in There's Something About Mary?
Oh, that would be. Well, do I have to say it like they say it in the movie?
Yes.
Do it. You have to now.
Barbara. It's Brett Favre or Favre.
That is correct. Position.
Oh, he was also a quarterback.
Yep. So you
Wow.
now earned another, I don't know, like 3 or 4 points, something like that. My math's bad. I'm like Nate.
Whooping our ass.
Big time, unfortunately. Okay.
Yeah.
So heading into round 5, Sully's got 40. Nate's got 50. Ryan has 65, and Clint has, again, some total of points that I haven't figured out yet. So, Sully, your pick.
Well, how about the Minnesota Vikings?
Minnesota Vikings have been to a total of 4 Super Bowls, so that's
Okay.
a possible 40 points out of that one. Especially popular in Japan, this player was drafted by the Chicago Bears in the 3rd round and bounced from team to team before being cut and embarking on a wrestling and mixed martial arts career. He's also found time to fit in some movies, including appearances in Elektra, The Longest Yard, and Big Stan.
Big Stan. That's the one that's going to give it away. It sounds like a porno.
Terry Crews?
Carl Weathers.
Carl Weathers.
Carl Weathers.
Ryan Gosling. Yep.
Correct answer was Bob Sapp.
Sap. Interesting.
Yep, not Warren Sapp, Bob Sapp. Nate.
Has anyone picked the Ravens yet?
Nope, nobody's picked the Ravens.
All right, let's go with the Ravens.
And that's a bomb. You lose a turn.
Better than not getting the answer. I'll take it.
Maybe. Ryan, your turn.
Arizona Cardinals.
Arizona Cardinals have been to 1 Super Bowl, but that's the other
No,
bomb.
come on.
Clint,
2?
you... I just added this rule. If you get this one wrong, you lose the game. And
Yes.
So, pick a team.
Casino
What-
rules.
What if I get a
Carl Weathers.
bomb? Am I out with that too?
Then
Well,
you
you
get
know what
0.
happens then, don't you, sir?
Gee, this
Don't get
is
a bomb.
so fair so quickly.
It's evil. Make
Make
it 3 in a row.
Right.
Tic-tac-toe.
Tic-tac-toe.
Carl
Let's
Weathers.
go with let's see, we've done the Dolphins, we've done the Patriots, we've done the Bills. The Jets would only be 1. Let's go with the gosh, there's so many few teams now. Let's go with the you know what? Let's go just for fun. Let's go with the Browns.
Cleveland
it's
Browns
0,
have been
5
to
points.
0,
Right.
so it is possibly worth 5 points. So your final clue, which dictates whether you win this game or Nate wins this game, because my math is bad like my brother Nate.
Perfect.
Is it?
It's good.
It is perfect. Your clue. Not only was this player an accomplished football player at Syracuse, but he has also been inducted into the Lacrosse Hall of Fame for his accomplishments in that sport. This player has also carved out a very respectable acting career for himself. After playing 9 seasons for the Browns, he retired suddenly while filming The Dirty Dozen after being given an ultimatum by team owner Art Modell to either play football or make movies. He also starred in Mars Attacks, 100 Rifles, The Running Man, and Any Given Sunday. He's also served as a color commentator for the first 6 UFC pay-per-view events.
Wow.
And if you don't know that, you actually deserve to lose this game.
Oh, I'm supposed to know that from that? I don't watch any UFC.
I know
You
you're a
should
big
know
lacrosse
from the
fan.
football description.
That was a lot in there. Okay.
I was
Oh.
there at that Lacrosse Hall of Fame induction. It was
Yes.
quite a day.
Yeah, they get a yellow jacket.
I was standing right next to Carl Weathers.
Was that when Ryan Gosling came by with a hot dog
Close,
to eat?
close personal friends.
Jeez.
Carl Weathers and Ryan Gosling.
Oh God.
They shared a hot dog. It was like a Lady in the Tramp moment. They both started at the opposite end, eating the hot dog, and met in the middle.
I was in the middle.
You were in the
Oh,
middle.
man.
Sully
How
was
am
the
I
hot
supposed
dog
to
in the
think
middle.
with this
Oh,
with this
man.
image in my head? All I can see now is Carl Weathers
Eating a hot
Ryan
dog.
Gosling sharing a hot dog.
God, I know I missed something, but I don't know. That's my answer. I don't know. I guess I lose.
The great Jim Brown.
Jim Brown. Okay.
Yes.
Jim Brown.
And reluctantly, with 220 points, Clint Dingus is our winner for Spider 2 Y Banana.
Finally, I've been out of the game for a little bit, so I'm happy to have a win. Sully, I'm sorry. I really am.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Nate, on second place. Very well done, sir.
The secondary
Warm-up.
room.
Let's start the game.
By the way, regardless of if I won or not, that was a fantastic game. So if any podcast out there is looking for somebody to come up with some game ideas, I know a guy. Just saying.
There's
Just
one
saying.
I'm thinking of in particular, but I'd have to be a guest and actually host the game if they wanted to go all out and get me on. Just
There you
saying.
go.
I'm
just throwing it
available.
out there. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do.
Dangle the
Nate, you want to
carrot.
take us home?
We do take email requests for game services at
Where can we-
dorksman@gmail.com.
Spot on.
There
Too
we
funny.
go. Thank you, Joey, for that amazing game that Clint dominated.
I didn't have to hear the question, and I won. I just want to say
fun.
that.
That was a fun game.
You
I
definitely
enjoyed that.
cheated.
That's right.
Rigged.
Rigged. It was absolutely rigged.
Extremely rigged.
Who would say
Super
this?
rigged.
Super
Double
duper rigged.
But yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Joey, for the game. Thank you, Sully, for hanging out with us today.
Sir.
Talking all things Super Bowl. Quick recap of our winners for the 4D giveaway holiday. So third place, we got Manny. Second place, D, the fat bearded nerd. And first place winner was Meg. So we'll be sure to reach out very soon and get your mailing address and all that stuff. And we'll get you guys sorted out. And we will send you guys out your prizes. So Super Bowl tomorrow. Anybody got any last words? Anything to add to anything we talked about today?
Hey, Sully, if anybody's looking to get in touch with you or follow you, where would they look?
I appreciate that. Follow me on Twitter. I'm CSSULLY. That's CS Sully. Also, if you guys get a chance to follow The Nerd Foo, my business that I started with my buddy Steve back in 2011. We're still going strong on Facebook and Twitter, trying to share the latest and greatest in nerd news and needs. Hadn't heard that in a while, have you? Just want to say for you guys fans, for everybody who's a Four Dorksman fan, be sure to not only follow these guys, but also engage with them. That is what keeps podcasts and businesses like this alive. Don't just like and follow, get involved and comment and share and be a part of the conversation. That's how these kind of things blow up and grow. And you've got to take that step. A like is nice, but not as nice as comments and engagement.
Oh, and in all fairness, we have some great ones already. The more the merrier, though. Absolutely agree. And shout out to Steve, too. We love him on the Nerd Foo, and he's the nicest guy I've ever met, I think. So, sorry, Ryan. You got beat.
Well, I mean, Sully's here, too. Come on.
That's true. I'm sorry, Sully. He's got you beat by a little bit, just because he's always smiling. I've seen you at work. That's the only difference.
Well, and in Sully's defense, too, at Funko Hollywood, he was one of the first guys there, smiling, upbeat. We left. We went to go eat. I came back later in the afternoon. Sully's still outside the front door, smiling, upbeat, talking. He's just genuinely positive beyond anything else that I've ever seen. And that's a very genuine comment, Sully. For
I
real.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
I appreciate that a lot.
Look, I'm looking forward to seeing you at ECCC in a few months, or even, 41 days or whatever the countdown's at.
Way to rub that
Just
one
a
in
bit
for
over a
me
month.
since I won't be there. Yeah.
Sorry, Ryan. Hey, I didn't go to Hollywood, so...
This is true. And I'll be on my honeymoon in Japan. Well, all things considered with, this coronavirus, everything, we'll see how that goes. But hopefully I'll be in Japan at the time.
We're hoping
If not,
for you, actually.
we've still got ECCC that you can still attend.
I will try to convince the wife.
Have a 4-day layover there.
Exactly.
It could happen. It could happen.
Cool.
But yeah, that's a good point. The positivity and whatnot. We like to make jokes with each other all the time, but we do it out of love. And
Yes.
we do have fun with it. So, don't think we do it to actually rag on each other. We actually do enjoy each other's company, and we do love doing this. And thank you for listening. So we appreciate that.
Awesome.
Yeah. And with that, that's my secret. I'm always angry.
Word, homies.
Please, no gang signs.
Nerds unite.
Any other use of this podcast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the episode without the Four Dorksmen's written consent is prohibited.